Hey guys, and welcome to Day-to-Day Scott, where I bring daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth. Every day, but Sundays, so 6 days a week, I bring you daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth. So how I do that is I communicate my learnings from each day. So as an entrepreneur, you'll know, or someone who's just hungry for personal growth, you'll know the amount of stuff we learn each day because of being an entrepreneur, just juggling so many hats, so many different responsibilities, and just hungry for personal growth because you're always wanting to learn from reading blogs, listening to mentors, listening to influencers, and so much more. So that's what I do, is I just collate all my learnings from each day as an entrepreneur. I started a business last month as an entrepreneur, and I communicate them to you. And this is the great thing about this channel, is you're going to see the journey of an entrepreneur, and that's going to do a few things. One, you can learn from my failures, you can learn from my successes, and I'm going to be fully transparent. So when I'm struggling with things, I'm going to be completely transparent, and I'll ask you things as well. And that's what we're going to create, is we're going to create a community of entrepreneurs that feel confident to come together and make a community of transparency, so people feel comfortable to chat with one another what they're struggling with in business, whether that's emotionally or business. As we know as entrepreneurs, it's a tough old slug on your own. So that's what I'm here for, the entrepreneurs on their own, the home entrepreneurs who are just buried away in one of the rooms in the house and just trying to really push it and achieve their goals in business and life. So this video is very important because nothing happens in business without this one thing. Nothing gets done in business without this. Nothing. Okay, so that's how important this business. That's how important this video is, because nothing, I promise you, nothing will get done in your business or life, in that matter, without this thing. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll get into it. Hey guys, and welcome back. So daily blog 62, boom boom, we're getting there. So daily blog 62, nothing gets done in business without this one thing, and this is so important. You're probably wondering what it is, so I'll give you a bit of some information. So you have to drive everything in business. You have to drive everything. You have to continuously be on people's back. Drive, 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 as my mentor says to me every single day. You have to drive it. You have to drive it, Scott. You have to drive it. And that's what I'm really trying to... I think there's a lot that comes into that place. You have to be willing to drive it, you have to want to drive it, you have to have the goals set out to really inspire you to drive it. So there's so much to this factor of driving it. But the principle of having to drive business and drive people will always stay the same. What makes you do it, we'll go into another video, that's fine. But I really want to hone down on this with how important this is you have to drive it. Now, you might be into this, you might be this far in the video and be like, look, Scott, how obvious is this? Like, it's so damn obvious what you're saying to me. Like, why are you even telling me this? And I appreciate what I'm saying right now, but just give me time. The reason I say this is I promise you, when you start business, or if you are in business now, you will know this, it's very easy to get complacent. And you don't have to be successful to get complacent, not at all. You can get complacent in just getting into routine. And remember, habits are not necessarily good. Habits can be really bad, and usually if you create a habit, then that becomes routine, and routine then means you're in a rut. So if I routinely just do what I do every single day, and don't progress on what I do every single day, then I'm not going to move forward. My business isn't going to move forward. So driving is so key, and not getting into that rut. That's why driving is so key, is it helps with so many other things. So why do you need to drive it? So because people will sit back, and there's sort of two reasons for that. One, it's intentional. People sit back because, hey, if they can intentionally sit back and not get caught, they're making more money for less time work, so it's a bonus for them. Some people won't see it that way, but some people will, and you have to appreciate that some people will see it that way. Obviously it's not good, and you need to get those people out of your business, or you just need to kick them up the arse. And sometimes I know I need it, 100% I know I need it sometimes. I know other people that I work with need it as well. We all need it at times, and sometimes more than others. So sometimes it's just genuinely you've just been trying to get away from it. And the other one is not intentional. The other one is just you genuinely forget. You just genuinely forget because you're trying to manage so many things and you're just not driving everything, and that's why you're having to drive people, because they're just not, because they're trying to juggle so many things. And this is where I'm going to go into my struggles, is that's something I struggle with, is just remembering everything. Now this is an interesting one, because if you do watch these videos, you'll know that one of my things that I've implemented recently, I think for about 3 weeks now, I've implemented is basically to stop note taking as much, because it just got too much. I did a video on how I manage to make sure I keep an eye on what I'm doing, keeping track of everything. I went through the amount of lists and diaries I have to keep track of everything, but I was getting overwhelmed, and it was just getting so stressful because I just had repeated notes in like 5 different methods of communication. It was a joke, but I always felt like I needed it. And since then, I've definitely toned it down so much, and it's de-stressed me loads. Like, it's just kept my anxiety down so much more. So let me give you a bit of context to this, so if you don't watch me, you'll understand. So as an entrepreneur, and you'll notice if you're an entrepreneur, you every single day are just buzzing with ideas. Like, you just are. Whenever you're doing things, you'll just see 1,000 different things that you can do each day. And I discuss this deeply in the video. Is you'll always see 1,001 things to do, 100%. You'll always see 1,001 things to do, but you have to understand that you can only ever do one thing at a time. And you have to understand that. I know it's annoying to accept that, but you have to understand you can only ever do one thing at a time. And that's something that it took me a while to understand, get to grips with than understand. I understood, but I just get into grips with it and really implement that mentality. Is that yes, you have these 1,001 things, and yes, it's always going to be 1,001 things. That's what you have to understand. There'll always be 1,001 things to do. No matter how perfect you make your website, your email, your social media, you get whatever. I promise you there'll always be 1,001 things to do. It's the whole point of an entrepreneur's mind. You always see something differently. You see how to improve on everything, which is good if used properly. But if it's used the way I was using, I was just note-taking everything, feeling like I had to just get all this knowledge down to make sure I go and implement it at some point. It was just a mess, because I just had these files and files and files of notes, and they were just I was never gonna find time for them, because I was struggling to even find time to just get my work done as it was, let alone look at these thousands of notes. So it's just ridiculous. So you need to focus on the micro rather than the macro. So you need to focus on those 1 or 2 tasks you can do rather than 1,000 tasks. So that's why I took it out. So this is where I've got a bit of an issue of remembering everything, but trying to not bring the stress factor back of note-taking everything. So I feel like I've got a middle grounding with it now, because I note-take obviously the things I'm informed to do, but I just get so many emails each day. Emails is really dragging me down at the moment. Like, just so many, like over 100 emails a day, and it's just like, go away. It's just so painful. Like, you just can't do your work because you're just in your email database just all day. So now I've been like blocking time out. So my emails do. Anyway, we're going far off topic. Let me stop that. But it makes sense to what I was saying, is that I'm struggling with keeping track of everything, as I've just gone on and rambled on about. So how does this relate to not driving everything? A part of the reason, like I'm saying, you don't drive everything, or you need to be driven, is because you don't remember everything, and that's my battle of taking notes of everything. Then there's the other one of just struggling because, a lack of a better term, you can't be asked. And I know I shouldn't say that, and you might think, Scott, what are you saying? You can't say that in your business, you can't say you can't be asked. At the end of the day, I'm human. There are times where I'll get up, yes, I have a business, I love my business, I love my clients, and I love my work. But there are days where I get up and I cannot be asked working, absolutely. And I feel like that anyone's like, I'm not gonna fabricate that every single day I get up and be like, yeah, so it's another day of business. No, I sometimes get up and be like, I cannot be asked working today. It doesn't mean that I don't love my business. It's just, it can be it's tough to continuously just keep on going on some days. So that's sort of the two things you can struggle with when it comes to having to get driven or drive people, because not remembering things and just intentionally doing it because you just can't be asked. I guess that isn't always intentional because your mental attitude and everything, but anyway. So they're my struggles when it comes to this driving, which my mentor always hampers onto, and I'm happy he does, because it's so important. And I've seen the reality of it, because when we actually do drive, things happen. I guess you guessed that. And when I don't drive, nothing happens. I guess you guessed that one as well. So at the end of the day, you have to keep on to people. It's important, and it's important to keep to understand you have to keep track of things as well as a manager. So you have to keep on top of people, and you have to keep a track of everyone's things. So I'm definitely learning how to manage that, because as I grow, I'm managing more people, and I'm not directly managing them because they're not my employees, but I mean I'm having to manage different teams and with different clients because I'm helping their creative teams. So I'm having to manage other of their members. So I'm having to manage people and keep track of people and understand what I ask them and then go back. So I'm just really understanding, trying to manage that amount of just memory, and my memory's never really been that good. So it's difficult, but I'm learning, and that's the best thing. So that's what I'm always here to do, guys. At the end of the day, I'm going to communicate to you what I'm learning. And like I said, I'm sometimes going to come to you with questions. This is something I'm struggling with. But at the end of the day, the value that you get from this video is that you must drive things in business. You have to drive. So my takeaway for you is drive everything in business. Hound people, annoy people if you have to. Get used to this and make it part of your work life. Make it part of your life, and be hungry and persistent with people and business. Just be persistent and hungry. They're the two great words when it comes to entrepreneurship. Hungry and persistent. That is like entrepreneurship in a bowl. That really is a whole part of entrepreneurship. It's just being hungry and continuously just being persistent. So I really would urge you to take that away from this video. It's just really to just drive it home. Because nothing's going to happen in your business, nothing's going to happen in your life, no change of your habits, no change of your life, no change of any situation is going to happen unless you drive, and try. You have to push people as well as yourself. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. I hope you gained value from that. It was a good one. I enjoyed that one because it's very real to what I'm learning now, so I enjoyed that one a lot. I just want to mention my competition again, personal branding competition, which I'll be announcing tomorrow, which is awesome. I'm very excited to pick someone at random for that. It should be really good fun. And for that, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, and then if you subscribe to my channel, you will be entered into a competition, which I'll pick a winner at random tomorrow, and whoever wins will get a one-to-one personal branding mastery mentoring session, and we'll go through your personal brand and we'll understand your personal brand and strategize it for 2018, so you absolutely smash your personal branding for 2018. So really good fun competition, so please do get involved and do share it with anyone you think that would be interested. Also, please do go watch the personal branding video, and that'll give you a really nice introduction before we have our mentoring session if you do win. But either way, if you don't win it, that is a great video because it just gives you a really strong introduction to personal branding, which is my not last video, the one before that, so go watch that. As always, guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Please follow me on Twitter at @ScottMears_, my Facebook at @ScottMearsEntrepreneur, and my YouTube where you are now. Please subscribe at @ScottMears. As always, the best way to predict the future is create. Go out there and create your future. This was Day to Day Scott. It was an absolute pleasure, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.